Mother. All right, so let's see if Kev can. Ouch. Here we are. And well, I should play the drums. I mean, that's the gig, right? So here we go. Def left here. So that's just it. There's a hum in here. What is happening? Whatever this note is. I think it's in B-ish. Yeah, there must be a air conditioner on in the facilities. All right, Kev. Tick-tock, tick-tock, time goes by. Tick-tock, tick-tock, time. Yeah. Real fast, then, I'll introduce my symbols, as I usually do. 1919, okay? PST7 19-inch crash, PST7 19-inch thin crash, and right here's my trusty, as I've always crying about how great it is a original Black Label 2002 20-inch medium. Great symbol. The perfect amount if you, I have to pay attention to it a little, otherwise I'll get crazy wash. You'll get a nice ping that stays in there. And then it's also just a 20-inch crash of the decayed. You know what I'm saying? So, but also too, in scissors. All right, here comes Kev. What? Dude, you're sporting the deaf right ear shirt.
I am. Sorry, I got a couple messages up here. I'm trying to...
Can you hear me there through the SM57?
SM. Oh, yes. Yes, I can.
All right. You're coming through loud and clear.
Sorry about the delay. My audio interface wasn't pulling up for a minute, and then it finally did. It was weird.
Wait, what interface do you use?
What is it? A Behringer Euphoria UMC 1820.
A Euphoria?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do they like, spell it with the letter U, the number 4, and E, and...
No, just like U-Phoria with a P.
Oh, right. Where you're like... You know what I'm saying? Listen, so what's going on? Have you been... How are the hands coming, Mr. Even Hands? Remember, I've been busting your balls that you have a natural set of even hands. How's it been coming? I know you're busy. There is life that has to be dealt with, and income needs to come in.
Yeah, usually about 10 minutes a day, maybe like 20 if I'm lucky, or a day that I don't practice at all.
Dude, there it is. Just that little nugget every day is getting into your, of course, your hands, but your brain. Think of the distance between your hands all the way up into your brain is like, imagine like it's like 1850s, 1860s, and they're out building the railroad. You know what I mean? They're building, you know what I mean? So, you know, they're at Dodge City when you're, you know, and then finally there's a great book you got to read. It's about when they built the railroad building from west to east and east to west. Great book. I've only met one other person that's read it. But anyway, my point is, seriously, is you build sort of the pathways to go up, and then once they get connected, and then they start getting strengthened and reinforced by repetition.
What do you mean about the railroad? Just like a faint clink? Clink,
no, I'm sorry. No. What I mean about the railroad is, all right, let's think of it this way. Instead of the railroad tracks proper, let's think of the power lines, or I should say, what was the telegraph. Okay. So putting those up, eventually, you know, they get the power, you know, the telegraph as far west as maybe Denver. You know what I mean? And then coming the other way is coming up through like Nevada. And eventually, so that's what happened. Your hand, you ever see Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
No. Should I watch that? I think it's on my list.
The original one, well, I shouldn't say the original, but the one from the 70s, Donald Sutherland. Mm-hmm. There's when they're in there, you see scenes where they're sleeping and they're by the plant, which wants to, you know, and you can see like the feelers. It's almost like almost how like, you know, the roots would be in soil except in air. You know, like lightning coming down on those pigs, and it's like, oh, and it's making its way to the body. But what I mean is imagine that kind of analysis is, well, thinking about it, is from your brain and going down to your arm and somewhere maybe around your shoulder, they'll meet. And then suddenly your technique will, you have the connections made, is what I mean.
Okay. Yeah. So the tracks are meeting. And...
Yeah, fine. And then the fluidity comes. Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe. Oh, great. Traffic is picking up. Let's build a second track. No, we can. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Now, seriously. So, what have you been doing when you've been doing it? Have you been doing, of course, just basic singles, which is so important, and have you still been using the pillow?
I have not used a pillow at all. It's all
Nope.
been
That's all right.
Evan's real feel right on top of this thing.
That's what I got over there at the house thingy.
Oh, okay. I got you. I was doing paradiddles really heavily before. I kind of got away from that. Now it's literally just I'll turn to it and just start moving my hands. And I'm really trying to match my left hand with my right hand, both French grip. And then since you mentioned the other week where you're going, like snapping your wrist, trying to get the molar technique really loosen up my
it's
wrist.
like it's kind of the focus of the molar technique is sort of like when you see my mom used to do this, God love her. She took ballet, and there was a thing they used to teach you, like to go, and I can't help but to think that exercise, if Jim Chapin or Sanford Muller saw it, he'd be like, that might help too. Do that additionally, but you know what I mean, where you really rely on the molar on that last, the hand coming up. It's because there's different techniques that are all kind of like there's the nature of the physics of a stick. And if you can really focus on, the fingers will do a little something, or then there's other people that will totally just really use fingers. Different techniques. They'll sit and just get, see those folks that can sit and get singles out of one hand, like da 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 da, and faster. Both hands can do it at the same speed, and you hear, you know what I'm saying? But then there's also that doesn't necessarily, there's just different, you pick up a stick. We're part of the sphere, baby. You know what I mean? We are an irrational number that goes off into non-definable. You know what I mean? 0.999998759. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But the point seriously is that there's a lot of different ways to, there might be some people that are more inclined, like they might, for whatever reason, there's a lot of people that seem to be a lot more comfortable using a French-type grip. You'll see them going around the kit, and their hand often really looks like this, and you see those folks on, YouTube here, and they'll go like this, and they do the rail fast singles, and their hand looks just like this with their fingers. I kind of can't do that. My fingers, I got to kind of turn the whole thing a little to more of a German. So kind of whatever sort of floats anybody's boat, kind of. And of course, I guess what you do is with YouTube, it's fantastic, or the internet. You can find the molar technique, the drop catch, the whatever JoJo, just little teeny things that people do over time. You might have, there's going to be people that have more facility. There's people that can come out of the womb and 3 years later they're in class and they're flipping a big pen through their fingers. I was just talking about this before. You know what I mean? It might take someone a lifetime. They might not ever figure out how to do it. So taking all the sources and kick ass. But listen, the paradiddles are great. Have you been accenting the front end of the paradiddles? Well, I'm not saying you always have to, but it's good to do them maybe both ways. But I mean, generally speaking, the mechanism of a paradiddle does.
Yeah, generally I'll be doing the front end, like you're saying, accent the first note.
Yeah.
Paradiddle, if anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really just trying to. I don't know. I've got a real strength in bouncing and a confidence with my right hand. I'm just trying to match that in any way, like any angle. So I will switch it up and something. If I notice something a little weak, I'll just try to focus on that specific thing.
Yeah.
A couple minutes, whatever feels natural.
Well, yeah, totally. You know what I mean? And even I'm telling you, even if you're in your house sometimes, just walk around with the stick in your hand and just kind of move it around in your hand like this. I know it sounds crazy, but just get your weak hand just sort of used to, because your right hand can kind of, as I throw it at myself, there's the rabbit and the tortoise, or the tortoise and the hare. Here's the hare, like, and then with my left hand, I'm forced to be tortoisey because I just don't have the mashnukin. So I should probably maybe do tortoisey here in the right hand. But you know what I mean? It just might not hurt.
I should try that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it just might, if you're sitting doing something, you can just, next thing you know, because sometimes you can, my friend Frank, artist here in Chicago and a drummer, he studied, and he's got great hands, he's got really even hands like you. Like he he's very ADD kind of like me, like a lot of us drummers. And I'm telling you, man, if he was not like ADD, like his natural hands, and he's got great hands anyway now, but man, like he studied with the guy that would have him, he would tap with each hand, his hand higher up like against a wall or so almost like your pad would be up here.
Really?
And you could sort of, I think of what I think about it. Maybe it kind of slightly suspended a little bit the effects of gravity, because if you're doing it like this, you're always going to have gravity, which you're going to have to deal with playing the drums. But maybe there's a slight shortcut in the short run to do it up here, where it takes the variable of gravity out, where maybe your fingers can kind of learn what the gig is, and then you bring that back down to the horizontal.
Yeah.
And
I figure out how to do that. I might give that a shot too.
Well, I'm telling you, you got even hands, bro. Now, what tunes have you been listening to? I was just talking you up at the first half of the video.
Sure. And we can talk about what you've been up to at some point as well, whether now.
I went off to Minneapolis. I got to tell you, St. Paul, Minneapolis is beautiful.
Okay.
St. Paul, Minnesota. Minneapolis is cool too, but St. Paul, because the river down there, it's kind of you get more of the, there's sort of the hill goes like. In Minneapolis, you're kind of more at the cliffs. You know what I mean? Like you look down at the Mississippi more or less there. You're kind of going down pretty far. It's like gorgy sort of. But then as you mosey on a little south to St. Paul, those hills, like it's not as West Coast Oregon-y. It kind of the land starts to come down and get closer to the river, so it's real hilly and just beautiful, man. It's just crazy up there.
Okay, so it was a little vacation for you.
Yeah, a little vacation. Took care of some biz. Now, what are you drinking there?
This is so I have my 3-beverage thing: Diet Mountain Dew,
Ooh.
large 64-ounce container of water,
Mm-hmm.
and for just a little later on, Natural Light.
Oh yeah, it's 4:00 in Spain right now. Come on, mother. No, hang on.
And sometimes, usually it's like water or tea if I'm at work, and then Diet Mountain Dew.
Well, real fast? Now Mountain Dew has more caffeine than soda generally, right? Isn't it sort of always, even back in the 70s, was considered a little step up in the caffeine department?
I don't know. I do remember listening to a podcast, and they were talking about caffeine and how a lot of sodas, like, well, what's in the soda that gives it caffeine? And I think they derive it from tea leaves somehow. So I don't know how much caffeine is in here, if it mentions it.
They might have a thing now where they mention, not just maybe because they're made to, but there's a lot of people that probably want to know. If you look at labels now, people are like, which one has the most caffeine? All right, I'm going to get not the Red Bull, but the Magenta Bull.
This one's 54 milligrams.
54 milligrams. Okay, I want to say, if I remember, maybe a can of Diet Coke maybe has in the 30s. Yeah, I bet that's a good 60 or 70%. Well, I think that was kind of the gig. I remember back in the 80s, people were like, no, man, get Mountain Dew. It has more caffeine. I was like, really?
Do you like Mountain Dew? Sorry to get off on tangent.
No. You know what the funny thing is? Back as a kid, I liked Mountain Dew because it had that nice kind of sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what happened was, I know it's going to sound wacky, I don't think I ever drank a Mountain Dew. My first day of high school back in the day, I went to a prestigious high school back in the suburbs, which was a block and a half from my house. And I can't believe I got into the goddamn thing. Anyway, we'll edit that out. The darn thing. And the first day of school, freshman year, me and my bud Mike, he and another bud, we went to a half day of school. It was like orientation, like, hey, yeah, there's the cafeteria, there's the pool, hey, they're at my locker, goodbye. And we went and we drank a bottle of Southern Comfort.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was my one and only Southern Comfort. And there was something after that I could never drink a Mountain Dew.
Oh,
there's just something cloying in there that's like, I don't know what it is.
Well, yeah, that'll do it. That'll put you off of whatever. If
but dude, God love you with the. So, do you ever drink root beer?
Not like very much. I do like root beer a lot.
You know what's amazing is I think that when they use the fake sweeteners, that the aspartame, the NutraSweet, I think goes the best with cola generally. I think it's the least noticeable, in my opinion.
Sure.
But Diet A&W, you barely notice it's Diet. And that also goes with Diet Dr. Pepper if you're a Dr. Pepper person.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Good tips.
So I would imagine it's probably the same with Diet. I would think with this, I bet with Can you do me a favor? Can you look at your Mountain Dew and tell me if it says aspartame
I think
or
I think that's what they use.
yeah? Some of the
Like
companies went
the
off to
Gatorades use sucralose.
sucralose.
There it is, aspartame. Yeah.
Sucralose.
Do you know the flavor of
Sucralose.
Mountain Dew?
Yeah, well, I can appreciate it. You know what I mean? I like, but there's just some like I said. I think there's also sometimes there's some industrial chemicals that will have the kind of the smell of the taste of Mountain Dew. I know that sounds
Okay.
wacky. I was a janitor for a few years. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure a lot of people know it, but if you've only had it like once and didn't think about it, the actual flavor is orange juice. It's like the second ingredient is orange juice concentrate.
You are
Even though
freaking me
it's
out.
green colored.
All right,
you
wait,
know.
wait a minute. What's the primary flavor?
Well, that's what it is. It's by ingredients, which are by weight.
Oh, I see. So it's the
Carbonated water, concentrated orange juice, citric acid, natural flavor, potassium benzoate. That's when you get into the chemical list, probably. But the
Mountain
actual
Dew?
flavor is orange juice. Yeah. So if people don't know that,
they're
some
complete
people are like, "Oh,
idiots.
yeah, I learned that."
I'm a total melon. You know why? Because I don't think I've tasted a Mountain
Well, you
Dew
haven't. Yeah, you haven't had it in a long time.
before my palate started to straighten out. And no, listen. Thanks for telling me that because for some reason I thought Mountain Dew had a little bit of the stuff that's in Green River. I can't drink Green River. You ever heard of Green River?
No, I haven't. Sounds like a
Good.
movie to me.
Green River. It's kind of, you know, there's a chance in my head I might be confusing the flavors of Green River with Mountain Dew right now. But I don't know, dude. Listen, we got to start talking about drums or people are going to fire
yeah,
us.
yeah.
You know what I'm
You want to
saying?
go to songs that I was thinking
What do you got,
about, or-
mother? Lay it on us.
I've got a small list here. Let's see. So John Lennon has a song called "Watching the Wheels." I don't know if you've heard that or not.
Yeah. Did that come out after? Is that posthumous?
Oh, the album. I don't know what album it's from.
Okay.
We can look it up here in a second.
Yeah.
"Shine" from Collective Soul, which is "Whoa,
Yeah.
heaven let your light shine down." I know these are kind of random.
No, but that's all right.
A song called "Level" by the Raconteurs. Raconteurs.
The Raconteurs. It's
That's
called
more-
Level?
Yeah, that's like a 2000s thing. I feel like I listened to it at the skate park. They had when we're at the indoor skate park, there'd always be music playing over these loudspeakers throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing. So there was
Yeah,
like
blasting through the...
I forget what channel it was, but it was like a whole skateboarding like music channel, and that would show up.
Dude, I
time to
forget
time.
you're like in the skateboarding culture.
Yeah. I'm getting older now, so I haven't been doing it as much, but still
Yeah.
love it. Just have
Yeah,
all the
the-
memories from it. For
Dude,
sure.
my gosh. God love you.
Let's see. I probably don't have that many actually.
Oh, better let the light shine down.
There you go. Yeah, that's "Shine." And there's I listened to. They have another song that made me actually find "Watching the Wheels" by John Lennon because
Oh, really?
for whatever reason, like they have their big hit, which is "Shine," and I
Yeah.
just listened to a couple more songs, and the intro to it sounds exactly like John Lennon's "Watching the Wheels," and I was just
Wow.
it like just brought up this memory and went straight to that John Lennon song because that was in a skate video from back in the day. I
Right.
might have to send that to you at some point.
Nice, yeah.
I played "Misunderstanding" and I played "You Got Lucky" by Tom Petty,
Okay.
which is a lot of left foot like barking. It's a pretty good exercise just for that. You got to do.
Well,
that
I
the
think
whole
it's
time.
also, there's an overdub. I think there's a hi-hat overdub.
Really okay.
You know, when you hear like the... I mean, it
Yeah.
almost sounds like it goes... And then the... Almost is in stereo. There's some overdubbing on that, mother. Great tune. You got lucky, baby. When I... Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Stan
what-
Lynch was still in the band at that time.
Okay. And I can play some of these songs. John Lennon's song is it's pretty. I don't know if it's 3/4 or anything like that. It's kind of got that feel. It's real slow, but it's basically just a chill song where you're going away or going along, and there's some fills, and they're just really specifically timed. And I think I'm
Now,
just
is
gonna have
this
to sit
Wheels
down
Going Around or a different Lennon?
and- Yeah, that one. Watching
Wheels.
the
Okay, yeah, I can... I
Really
just
love to
love...
watch-
You know, the drummers he used... I think he used Alan White, who played in early Yes. I
Oh,
think,
okay.
yeah, there are a lot of drummers that I think Jim Keltner, I think, a very famous butt-kicking studio drummer. But yeah, oh, yeah, you wanna pop it on? We can, I can
Yeah.
edit it out to tell the copyright people to Mishnak and Gritzoid.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since the last lesson, dude. It's been a little bit of time.
Here it is. This is John Lennon. I think this is posthumous. It might be 1981 or two. I think that Yoko Ono might have. Maybe I'm mistaken, but for some reason
Sure,
I thought this song came out like after his death.
all right, these are by artists, so it'll be down here. L. I gotta remember my alphabet.
E.
H-I-J.
And
Here we go. Alrighty then.
oh my God! Oh yeah! It also is a lot like Imagine.
Oh,
The song
okay.
Imagine. It starts out like Imagine too. Imagine all the people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. I
It
never
totally
really
is
thought of
that. Dun, dun. Here, start from the beginning. Please.
Sure.
Is that an emergency vehicle in your living room?
They're doing something out there.
You hear. Run in the house. Go through the garage door. You know
Come
what I mean?
out with your hands up. We have the place surrounded.
Joel, get off the babysitter. No, this is a nice choice, dude, because it has that. It's a nice vehicle just to play time.
People say I'm crazy, doing what I'm doing. Well, they give me all kinds of warnings to save me from ruin. When I say that I'm okay, well, they look at me kind of strange. Surely you're not happy now, you no longer play the game. People say I'm lazy, dreaming my life away. Well, they give me all kinds of advice designed to enlighten me. When I tell them that I'm doing fine, watching shadows on the wall. Don't you miss the big time, boy, you're no longer on the ball.
Then the Bills.
I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. I really love to watch them roll. No longer riding on the merry-go-round. I just had to let it go.
Yeah, you can really hear that's human time. Oh, was there a filter? Damn it, was it a buzz?
No, it's just a little. That's the only time you hear a little buzz roll.
Shite! I'm sorry, I yapped over. Can you rewind 15
Yeah,
seconds?
a lot of this stuff is pretty faint. The little barks and the little.
Let it go. People asking questions.
I don't know if you could hear that. It is very faint.
Yeah, no, but I think oftentimes too, sometimes when people mix, like especially a lot of the bands, maybe Zeppelin and the like, they might kind of start with the drums right there, and then oftentimes, the Who used to do that. Like sometimes because Keith Moon was really busy, sometimes in some songs you might not even hear him for a while, and then bring in when he's freaking out on the fills into the chorus, and then he kind of fades out, like Squeezebox. You ever hear Squeezebox?
Yeah.
Okay, kind of listen to that. You'll hear some points he's playing toms, and then suddenly he's in the background. You don't hear him. But I think that's just it kind of, a lot of those songs, they're really going for that backbeat, So like, boom, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, boom. See it? How's that? I mean, that's a nice. pocket, you know. And then it seems like when they go da 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 ba ba, when he starts singing "Wheels Go Round," it's at the very least he's kind of on top of the beat. It's just a really nice human track. And then you hear how they sort of retarded at that part. I think that's a total human people sitting in the room.
Okay.
No click brack.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Yeah. Maybe you just never know these days. Great recording. Yeah. So you have a lot like you have that real. If you want to, especially for that stuff, take a towel and put it over your drum, because you get like that, sort of that popularized by Ringolium back in like 68, 69-ish.
Yeah,
You kind of get that. And then you have toward the end, it'll go, and then he'll change the parrot up a little bit before he goes. Like he throws a, like and I've just got to let you. If you listen there, you can hear. It's not, of course, that severe, but that's a great track, dude. You got a good ear. We gotta get your hands. We're gonna turn you into Hands King. You're gonna be the next studio drummer in the next 18 months.
I'm working on it, man. I should probably work on it a little bit more, but
no, listen, just work on it as much as you can, because you gotta watch out, especially sometimes because you have a more creative profile. Often, what'll happen is if you're a little, it's not like you're 13 and in 3 months you want to play this thing you're gonna play. Where you might be like, all right, I'm going to do 6 hours. Now you want, you work and you want to enjoy it. You don't want to, so just get in there. But you will. Remember, so often sometimes you're like, oh man, I don't want to do it. But then you get the sticks in your hands, and next thing you're like, oh, and you put in, and you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
so,
it's usually nice.
Well, like the expression, so much of life is just showing up, especially with drums, because at least 70% of those times, at least 80%. That you're kind of like, oh, fine. And then if somebody made you do it, 80% of the time you're like, oh my God, I had the best jam I ever had. You know what I mean? And then the other 20 would be horrible. You just like, whatever.
Yeah, with the pad especially, I think just get your hand, just turn to it and start doing anything, and you'll figure out, it's usually fun, and you can I'll do some paradiddles or try some triplets, see how those are going from the last time.
Well, yeah.
I notice a difference.
And you can like you can sit and just be, let's say you're just like, so you can just kind of, and don't have to think about them as singles necessarily. People kind of do that, which I wouldn't recommend with you in a marching. But what I mean is you can kind of free associate, like here we are playing 16ths. And then you can throw in, if you keep in track where the downbeat is, if you have a little song in your head, like daga 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 daga. See, I can't get the fucking Lennon song out. No, but what you can do is go back and forth between singles and just paradiddles. So for a while you can be like. Because at a slower tempo like that, this is what I mean. You don't necessarily have to do the.
Oh yeah,
You'll just do the sticking of a paradiddle without maybe any accents. So. Where you're doing the pattern, just control of the right left, apart from necessarily the jump up sometimes that a paradiddle does. Like the lead in. You know what I mean? So just. And don't underestimate playing it real slow. See, I have this tremor, and I don't mean to say, I'm telling you, when I say that, I'm not making this an excuse for me having shite technique, because God knows I could practice more. But there's a thing about the tremor where it's not just what it does sometimes. If I'm not prepared, like I might start doing a roll, and for a second the roll is great, but sometimes I'll have a little jerk in my left hand, like so I'll be like, you know what I mean? So I've tried the propanol and those, things. It just doesn't work, But in any case, it's part of my. You do the best you can. But what I'm saying is, so see how we do that? You're going like. That's an inverted paradiddle. But all right, this is.
Sure.
I like that you're doing the paradiddles. I'd say when you do practice them, sometimes just do them without accenting. And remember, the straight up paradiddle is right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, like that. But you can invert the paradiddle too, meaning what you'll do. You know what I mean? Right, right, left, right, left, right, left, or right, left, right, right. You know what I mean? And it's important to practice those permutations without accents, because it'll really help you just with your, like, subconsciously. Like, sometimes there's a lot of times I might be playing a fill, and sometimes you realize however you started the fill, you're going to come out with your left hand, like, yeah, you know what? But sometimes what you can do is one of those lefts you can just double. You know what I mean? So then that affords you get two lefts there, just because if you want, you can really hit the downbeat with your. That's what's great about really just doing singles, and then the whatever, the 3 or 4, however you want to do the permutations.
Sure, the paradiddle.
But it's really helpful, and it's really soothing too, because after a while, maybe choke up on the sticks and light, or just be like. Because what'll happen is you want to remember how I said this. Did I say this to you, or was it somebody else? Sometimes what you can do with paradiddles too, this is a cool thing to do, is in your mind go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, like you think triplets, but your hands are sticking.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
So
right, left, right, right, left, right, left. It becomes 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. You know what I mean?
Is that one of those things where it's constantly like moving the position of?
Well, yes. So because if you're on the grid, if you're on the triplet, it'll every so often the whole cycle will come around.
Right. That's
Do you know what I mean? Because you have a 3 versus 4 concept.
Yeah, that is it's challenging, and it's probably the perfectly good kind of challenging.
No, but you'll be surprised. Sometimes you can even sit, and you don't even need to sit at the pad. You can sit just on your knees. So what happened is, this is what I mean. Like, if you can also do it with the accents to get you, like if you're used to going, you can also do that. Go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2, you know what I mean? 1 and a 2 and a, wait, I see, I don't want to do the paradiddle. Right? Let me try to get because I don't usually do it with the 1 and a 2 and, yeah, I never even thought to do it with the accents. That's a great idea. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Yeah. You'd have to do that slow on the front end to get used to it. But what I'm saying is, for me, I'm more focused. Yeah, I mean, that is a great one. I should think to do that. But maintain those accents, because it'll really cement it in. But I find it sometimes it's more musical if you don't have the accents, though. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a. You know, I'm sorry, I just accented there to
No, I think that's very helpful.
Yeah, give it a whirl and just take your time. You'll see, because it'll sort of even out a thing between your hands. You know, it's like if you play crunge. You know, you can go like, well, it's probably bad with crunge. Let's just keep with an odd meter. It's like if you wrap around an odd, even in an odd meter song, you're going to be right half the time if you're playing 4/4. Well, depending on the odd meter. You know what I mean? So let's say, bum, 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 like if you can play time do that if you wanted to, but it'll make everything relative go off and then back on, and it's neat. I mean, as long as you just think of time as, you know, we're just going, you know, equidistant. You know, you can also stuff something odd back into straight. So you could have, you go, wait, hang on here. You go like this. So you can maintain the crunginess, but you're just, which is the actual thing.
Yeah, that sounded kind of cool.
No, but you know what? But see, this is why I do. This is what I mean is, and I say this often in our lessons, that you're very musical. I don't want you to think I'm trying to just kind of be like, yeah, dude, you're an extremely musical person. So,
Right on.
well, that's why I would really just, as almost a side project, it's more important, obviously, that you get in and play the drums and just do whatever, make stuff up. I still, it's always important. If you can, every so often, maybe sometimes you get on the kit, maybe just give, remember these. You know what I mean? Sometimes just to get your arms going. You can almost do it brainless-ish. Next thing you know, without even thinking about it, you just did it for 40 seconds, and then you're like, all right, and then you can be like, you know what I mean? Play a tune, pop a tune on. I mean, because I think playing to covers is one of the most, probably the best way to learn anything.
I think people say if you don't really have much of a plan, if you just want to default, that's really not a bad course. So.
I even think it's I think it's above the 50% thing. I mean, because it's teaching you to play straight time. Mm-hmm. You sit and you look how people do it. Okay, I'm right-handed. Okay, I'll hit the snare with this hand. You might have some little shitty technique for or somebody might, but at least they can sit and be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then once you get there, if you want, you can be like, oh, hey, I'm going to check out Elistopi, or there's some great teachers out there, man. They're all over the YouTube and internet. It's fantastic. You see some of these younger folks, they're just monsters. There's this, Nika Niles, or in Rush.
Rush? Yeah, I was gonna say, okay.
Well, what I mean is there's every so often, in my feed, there are just some badass drummers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, but unbelievable. You'd never seen or heard them before. There's some, come up my feed because, they have maybe 20 subscribers. And they'll sit there and they'll, start playing a beat. Who's that dude? Who's the younger guy or the younger person? Like BB Mays or something, or BB. It's a twosome.
Oh,
they play the drums, and there's a keyboard player, and it's really proggy.
Okay, I don't think I've heard them.
If you almost had dance prog, and this person's technique is the way they play is just so but every note is just dead on and oh my gosh, it's crazy. I'll send a link to you. I mean, that'd be a good person for you to see. I'm just telling you, when I've seen you play, and I just sit, you just got the even-handed mojo.
Well, I appreciate it. I was watching. I just put on a Jeff Porcaro. It's kind of cool. I've seen in my feed 1994 session with X drummer. I can't remember all the names, but some of the classic names that you would think of. Jeff Porcaro was one of them, and it was just
Greg
sound.
Bissonette and Vinny Colaiuta.
Oh yeah, Greg Bissonette. He had one where he's got this long hair, and I haven't watched it yet, but I think it was 1994.
Dude, he's a
lot
monster.
of them were old DVDs that old VHSs that people have ripped. So I'm gonna watch a little bit more of those because they're.
Dude, I might have some of those bought new at the store back in the late '80s, '90s.
But it was cool just to hear him. He would just pick a beat and just start doing that, and it's just in that state while somebody else is playing a little bit of guitar over top of it or something, but he plays around with the beat just a little bit, but it's really just backbeat style, and it's cool to hear, that's a little nugget of something that you might think about, but he's just sitting there and working through that and maybe touching it up with a little bit of something or other. But
it gives you a nice visceral music scape in time to play over and mess around with stuff versus just
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there wasn't.
You'll see a lot of people sometimes just they might be like how would you even Yeah, I mean, I should do that. You should too. Play a. But I mean, yeah, you could be let's say we're doing the John Lennon thing. If you wanted to, you could stick a. You could do stuff like that. Sure. And not nowadays. What I would do if I was really love fast playing, a lot of the stuff that's crazy fast, is just slow it down half speed. And then play along to it half speed, you know what I mean? And then after a while, I'll bring it up to 60%. You know what I mean? It's like bringing the metronome up to 126, 128, but you're bringing the tempo of the song up. And now they would have pitch correction. You know what I mean? So you could have, I don't know how ultimately sonically it would sound, the quality of it, but you could totally have a song that you slow down and play to, but it's not like, you won't necessarily, Although I do love those artifacts of when stuff's like analogically slowed down. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Definitely.
I've had 9 cups of coffee. I'm sorry, Bounce. But I'm telling you, once I start talking about something, drums, oh my God, I want to be like...
Yeah. One thing I do want to try to figure out, just figure out how to do a little bit better is, so if I'm playing along with songs and then I don't have the fills down, which is just all the time, and, all across songs, I think I'm just going to have to sit down and memorize, go find the fill that I don't know, like the first one in any given song.
The a la carte fills.
Well, I'm just saying, put whether it's 330 to 345, just play that over and over, listen to it, try to decipher it, and just force myself to learn that fill, go on to the next one, because I don't know exactly how else you learn how to do these things.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, the concept of fills, it's funny because there's like the arc of fills. A lot of people when they first, let's say, and I don't mean for this to sound too basic, but I'll get to what you mean in a minute. But often it's like people, they learn time, and then they'll get, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, sure.
But
There's
eventually
nothing
there
wrong
are,
with that at all.
right, but there's like basic paradigms you can say almost that are like, maybe the
True.
building, because remember like the, you know what I mean? And then, got popular, then the 16, the 8th notes, the triplet feel. You know what I mean? But you can, it depends on the fill. I mean, here, let's bring some fills in. Give me some of your fills.
So, I mean, there's plenty of Zeppelin songs. I mean,
right.
Mak'er, good example.
Okay.
And that's probably the one I was thinking of, the specific one where you get the little, at the end, little part.
That one?
Something like that. You're just going to have to sit and practice that.
Well, but even for me, I played numerous Zeppelin tribute shows. Mm-hmm. There's been some times we've gotten to that part. And if you're at all, it's easy even for me to fuck that up. Did I even play it right? Oh, wait, so, Oh my God! See, I've done that for that song. You go through and all right, let's do that last fill. I didn't mean to blow it off. Because at the end of the song, does it go? I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Oh my God, I can't. Right now, my hands are sweating. Even as a professional, because it's easy to, because what you want to do is you want to be like, something like that.
Yeah.
But he plays over the, you know what I mean? Yeah. No, but so just what you can do. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and well, wait a minute. I'm not even. The funny thing is, I have to sit for a minute. I don't count when I play, so I have to back in.
Sure.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a. What's? I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I'm still trying to figure out the main beat on Mak'er too. It should be straightforward, but when I play it, I'm like, I know you double up the snare, and then after the other snare, you double up the bass drum. But then I don't know if it's always the same. I'm pretty sure it's pretty close to the same.
Kinda. There's, again, like anything often with musicians, especially Bonham, there's sort of a basic paradigm he might, looking back at it, that he sticks to.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, I think it's, you don't have to go. You don't have to go. Yeah, but I think that's what it is.
Okay.
And with a few of these thrown in, you know what I mean? A few of those. One thing that I did, you can do, is map out. I've done this before, back when I was first learning it, because I didn't really necessarily detect a pattern. But then as I realized, there kind of is. It kind of goes boo, da, da, boo, da.
I think that's what I need to work on a little bit more on some of these songs is I don't have to like write it down note for note or anything, but I need to just get a quick like overview, 20 foot in the air. Like, okay, he's generally sticking to the main beat. If you notice something that, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Well,
like
okay.
just map it out, just generally speaking, so I know just to avoid a pothole here or there.
Oh, no, hell yeah. All right, well, here, I mean, yeah, because you've talked to me about this before. You've been like, Terry, you should make micro videos. This video is this fill in Jamaica. It's a great idea. You've said that many times. All right, but let's do this for a second. Boom, I, 3 and 4 and boom, da, da and 4 and doom, da, boom, da, 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 da. See, once I bring numbers into it in my head,
I know,
there's something in my head that's just like, it's like the counting and like the musicality.
Let's need the song to reference a little bit too.
No, but I'm trying to nail down how much over the bar you might go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they add time. I don't even think he play. There might be time added, actually. I never thought about it that way, actually.
Either that way or they're like the illusion.
Well, hang on a second. You don't have to go boom, boom, ba, da da da. Oh yeah, they add time on the end. There's a time added. It doesn't, but you think it doesn't. See, yeah, we should check that. Can you bring on the end of Jamaica?
Yeah.
Man, let's solve that. I know. I feel like sometimes if I talk about Zeppelin, I feel like a jackass. Dude, you've had a channel for 16 years. You're I don't know. You know what I mean?
This Zeppelin stuff is a little bit complicated. I don't know if you.
Well,
understand.
I mean, it's remember. When those guys recorded at Bonham, they probably ran through it a few times. Bonham's like, all right, well, let's do it. And they found one they liked, and then they fucking slowed it down. I'm telling you, Jamaica, I'm sure at least the drum portion was recorded probably this fast. Like that fast. I'm sure of it. And then they went to the tape machine, they went, and it's, and the place you totally hear it is in that crash. There's no better sounding crash cymbal, especially an 18-inch B8 than that crash, where it goes, you don't have to go. You hear Bonham, he does have one of these. He has one of those in before the crash. But there's also an effect, a delay on the drums. You kind of hear it's like a echo, like so and it makes it almost sound like there's a nice, it goes like into that crash. Here, throw it on, mother. Let's bring this up from the beginning. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Make it nice and loud. Oh, he inverted it there. Right here. Oh. Yeah, but he did actually invert. I think he went. Like, I think he actually, but like I said, I don't think he put too much time into it. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he was like, because it does seem there to go boom, ba, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, ba, boom. You know what I mean? A couple times. I think that happens maybe a couple times in the song. But I would just, when I would play it with the dudes, I'd essentially, sometimes I'd leave one or two of the doubles out or maybe put a double in another place. But generally speaking, what I did was. you know what I mean. That's kind of the, you don't want to,
Yeah, you
have
can
a
get to where
conniption.
or I should get a little bit more to where I'm not overthinking it too much, but I just want to make sure I'm not missing out on anything big in the main beat section. So
Oh yeah, well then you have the whole litany of fills. That was something
Sure.
that again, when we get to Jamaica, if we were playing live, I'd always get a little nervous about. I can't tell. There were a couple times instead of. There was a couple times I went. Like I inverted them, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And a couple times you get the hairy eyeball. You know what I mean?
you can probably generally get away with that a lot of the time as long as you're in time and it
Well,
doesn't sound too wonky or like, you don't throw a concert tom or something off to the left.
well, I mean, just also, here, right? But here's another thing too. You can, sometimes, especially with drums, scat it, sing it, so you get the meter down in your head. Ba da do do da 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 boom 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 ba boom 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 ba boom, and then just play with that.
yeah.
Ba do do da do ba boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's the element of me learning the specific fill, and then also when you go to play it again, like even if you have it down, you get the fill like with dead air, nothing playing.
Yeah.
And then you play the song, and it comes along, and you're like,
Oh, I know what you mean.
you know.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
I think
mean,
you do
but
have to play it through a little bit, just to, and then you can actually employ these things.
Well,
in
well,
real
totally.
time.
There's a bunch of examples of that too, where like, I want to just bring this up. I know it sounds crazy, but you might know what I'm talking about. Do you know the Rick James? She's a very that song for Super
Oh
Freak.
yeah. He's a very
Well,
special
the,
girl.
the turnaround there where it goes, she's all right. It's supposed to go, yeah. But there's in that open space sometimes, if you're not paying attention, at least the first one it almost sounds to me like the caricaturized beginning of Misty Mountain Hop that I hear. Yeah, in fact, it exactly does. That is, it's funny. Who brought up that song? Me? But you brought up the concept. So it's great we brought it up, but it's important because. But anyway, as I'm saying is, sometimes in dead space, especially if they didn't use a click and stuff, sometimes it's.
Oh, yeah.
That even happens sometimes, like in Zeppelinville, like the Lemon song. So you have like. Like if they played it live, you'd hear it straight. But or maybe they just instead of sometimes it'd be, you know what I mean? Like in the song, it kind of makes it seem like it. In the recording, there's sort of a little sort of a dun dun dun, almost like a.
Yeah.
To me, it would always sound great because I like the fact that it was like that because it almost made it sound like the engine was starting up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always
yeah.
thought that was cool. I mean,
And
there's a
there's a
lot of
little
stuff
bit
like that in Zeppelin.
There's like an element of mystery in that too. If you're leaving a little bit of that air, and especially if it's not perfectly linear, people are like, "Wait, what's happening?" And when you bring it in, it's a real surprise. It's like a punchline to a joke where it just kind of hits you.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, that's what I mean. Often the thing about especially a lot of drummers, but especially Bonham, is the time. You can take liberties with time. It's like, remember how I talk about like with human beings, like especially when people are younger, the very primal thing, like when a baby wants something, they might get louder and higher and pay. In music we employ that. Like I don't, like la da da da. Like if you have a song that's like, what's a great example? Well, like that. Right? I mean, they're different tempos. They're just different. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Bum bum ba da da, and you hear that in I love it in Carousel Alhambra.
Ooh, that's a good
You
one.
have like wait, now let me think. You almost hear a point in there where he's kind of slowing down a little. Oh my God, he does a fill in there. Oh my God, I love that one. Oh, you know the one I mean.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
It reminds me
It's
of
ju-
that.
it's just-
The Hunter. They.
Oh my God. Oh, like in you've seen the clip.
How many more times?
Oh yeah, how many? Well, yes. Let's talk about that. That's very important.
I
Because
brought that up a couple
fucked
weeks
that
ago.
up numerous times at live shows. Well, I wouldn't say
Oh,
numerous, but at least twice.
Yeah. Just
You know what?
the
All
end
right, let's do it. Let's come into that. What does it do? Ba, 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 da, da, da. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ba, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. And then, yeah, okay, wait. See, it's been so long since I've done. And then. You know, my snare is quite open, but normally you'd be like. You remember, you gotta have. But my point is the. So let's say we're. I was right. Blah, oh yeah. Blah, my way, baby. Blah, steal away. It doesn't go. There's a little thing. Those. They're not in the same place, right? See, you got it. I got to bring this up in my file. That's embarrassing. Blah. Hey, bear with me. Blah. See, this is what I mean. I can't over analyze Zeppelin sometimes. My brain starts
like
to go.
down instead of
Way.
down, maybe.
Way up, way. Yeah, so bah. Well, maybe it does. I never thought about it. I just know that I messed it up. Maybe it's just the transition I'm thinking. Sorry, I'm getting old. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Or wait, you know what? I can't bring it up in my. I must tell you, the last time I think I just put a video out a few days ago of me doing the show with Edward Page.
Right.
I probably should have proofread that before I put it out. But, you know, it'd been a while since I put something out, and I realized I had it. It was, so I just trimmed the 25 minutes off the beginning and the 25 off the end because I wasn't sure we were going to start, so I let it run. And then after we were done, I forgot about it. But, yeah. But my point is, I can't remember if we played that part in there. Steal away. Wait a minute. Yeah, wait. Yeah, it's kind of bringing me back. Can you bring that up?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, let's get right to it though, because otherwise there's a whole shitload of music before we get there. Because there's an anomaly there's a little red flag in my cranium every time we played it live that I'd remember not to do something. And I can't remember if it's what I did here 3 times or if it's after that.
Okay. Let me see if I can search it out real quick.
Okay, I just want to straighten that out. Oh my God, listen how smooth that is. Yes, okay, so there is a crash before the, yeah, okay. Oh, that's what it was. I used to start doing the rat-tat-tat at that last crash, I think. Steal away! And out of nowhere I go, rat-tat-tat. And everyone was like, dude, you're off. Anyway, it happens to the mediocrest of us. But yeah, well, that's, yeah, but you know what's, listen to that though. Even listen to how, that doesn't go, bye, steal away, steal away. You know, there's no click track there, man. It's like, bye, steal away, steal away. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's human time, like an intentionally, to like suspense. You know what I mean?
No, it's great. It's great. Oh, yeah. No, you do great on this stuff. You shouldn't beat yourself up for missing a little fill, you know, one day.
Well,
in the past.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing really is too. I mean, you do got to remember with Zeppelin or anything that you're doing, or you know, there's a really. Do you like the Who?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there's some footage of them. It's right after Keith Moon died, and they have Kenny Jones from the Faces playing the drums. He played with them. Essentially, I think from like '79 to they did the '82 tour. They might have played another gig or two after that with him. I can't remember. But it's like kind of first rehearsals with Kenny. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And they're running through the stuff, and Kenny's playing it in his way. He's not really playing it like Keith Moon, although he's trying to make a nod to some of the filth. But it's the other guys that are fucking everything up. You know what I mean? They played that shit thousands of times. And sometimes still it's like, oh, wait, what do we do there? You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. That goes to show you. You know, you're
so
often getting the polished product with all these, you know, recordings. Even if it's live, it's still, they've been practicing every single night that stuff over and over. Especially when you get to a studio release, you don't know how many takes and how long they were in the studio, how many times they messed it up, and they're the guys who do it as the original, you know.
Oh, it's common, and it's human. It's just the way sometimes it goes. I mean, there are some Zeppelin gigs in like 75 and 77. I mean, different tours where they mess up the Kashmir change. Da 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 da. You know, Bonham plays through it. Or Jimmy Page does it early or whatever. And some of those are, one of them's funny as hell. I think there's a famous bootleg. I think, listen to this, Eddie. I think somebody pretended like they were in a wheelchair and they had like a blanket. They got wheeled into the certain area. Underneath, they had like a fucking tape machine with extra, you know, that the whole show they fucking recorded with like, it was pretty, you know what I mean? I think a couple bootleggers used to do that. But there's a point there where it's like, because Kashmir is such a anthemic thing that suddenly here's the band themselves, da 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 da, and every so often plants like woo, you know what I mean? And you can kind of tell they're all sort of, you got to hear it. I'll send you the link to it. It's every time I put it on and they get into it, you can kind of hear John Paul Jones. You're a little, and you Robert Plant like, oh, or whatever, and Jimmy Page is like, it's awesome. You know, in front of, 24,000 people, wherever the hell they were at the Forum or whatever the hell it is. Maybe it was at the Garden, I don't know. But it's awesome. It is just, you don't
hear that stuff too often.
Oh my God. Sometimes a band, like what? I hear stories sometimes of a band starting a song and they get halfway through it. They're like, we're going to start it up at the top again. Oh my God. That's nightmarish, though. Like in this video I just put out of me playing with Ed
Page.
I forgot about how bad Since I've Been Loving You sounded, because again, if you notice, I have headphones on. This is a one-off gig I did with him, so we rehearsed here once. You know what I mean? We got together here. I can't remember if I got together. I don't even think I got together with the other guys. I might be confusing him with. But so we played the show, but what that is, a couple of the songs are How the West was one live version of some of the stuff. So there's a little time movements there, a teeny, which, you could be on top of, but you can't, you know what I mean? Suddenly I realized I couldn't hear it, and after a while you're like, and then, the instinct is too, man, when we're playing, that's the thing. God, I can't wait till I can play a Zeppelin concert show with somebody where the effing keyboard guy is a person. The keyboard person's a person where we don't have to, you don't in your headphones have to hear like I used to play with this other Zeppelin trib. This is what you hear at the front end. 1, 2. You just, and that's what you're kind of going with, which you can, but sometimes if anybody else might be off a little, a guitar player or somebody else, my tendency is to go with them because I'm so used to playing with real, you get, instead of just locking onto this guy, you don't want anything to flam or be off. I don't know.
I could see that being a little bit strange, just lacking the human feel to it, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's done all the time. I mean, like if you.
Sure. But maybe it's not what you're used to or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's good to be prepared. I guess what I'm saying, it would have been better for me to be prepared. You know what I mean?
Okay. I don't know.
Maybe you've listened to it a bunch of times before a couple of, but it does happen,
Yeah.
Malfunctions.
People make some mistakes sometimes, not the end
Dude,
of the world.
Listen to this. I want to say I think it was like, it might have been the second or third time I played with the Zeppelin tribute band here called Kashmir. And I came in with the frickin' drums on Stairway to Heaven a whole chunk early.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, my God. I just remember everyone looking back at me. People in the audience just looking at me. And I was like, you know what I mean? Dutsical announced me. But yeah, the Bonzolium channel. Yes, the Bonzolium channel on YouTube. So there were people there in Bonzolium, who saw the channel.
Yeah.
And I did that. I remember thinking, like, oh, my God, this is a curse.
It could almost feel traumatic, I'd imagine, but it's something so simple that could happen. But there's a lot riding on that because you've got the whole chunk of 3 or I guess it's 4 minutes 15 seconds where there's just nothing, and then you got to come in. It's gonna be like we can't really take that from the top.
Well, yeah, but like here, what I'm saying is though, so for you, like if you're sitting running through stuff or anybody who's playing covers and stuff, I mean. That's why even the basic level 1 is okay. Play to any cover you want, but just go boom thud through it. Okay. You know what I mean?
Just get that structure.
Like turn it on. You just doom, just you can do boom thud and just round out your time. It'll give you endurance. Your strong hand get used to its repetitive lifetime that it's now going to endure as the main timekeeping chunky.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Well, so I don't want to get off the subject, dude. I don't want to be yapping about. Well, as it goes with fills, because I remember you were talking about that before. The way I always sort of felt about it was I would just learn to play the song first, and the fills would be totally secondary. I was running through the song, I'd do my best just to mimic it or whatever.
Okay.
But then just, you know what I mean?
I'm sure there's that makes sense. Is there multiple times where you have a more complicated fill or something that's not natural, where you just have to like pause and focus on that, play like actually get it into your head, or like not necessarily write it down, but actually like decipher, okay, he's playing the first time before and that's actually the second time, and then I don't know what I'm saying basically.
No, what you're talking about is sort of a shorthand you have where like, okay, when this happens, there's a space, and sometimes it isn't your default necessarily. Sometimes to think in time.
I'm just very visual, so in my head, I'm literally like, I don't know. There's images of what's going on, even if there's a space. I'm literally seeing like just a big black void.
And when right. Well, sometimes what you can do is sometimes your favorite song, like this is not anything I've ever done as far as. Well, I mean, I have. Maybe we're odd meter stuff. But you can be like, for example, like Turn It On Again, Genesis. What is that in 7 or whatever the hell it is, 13 or 7. Da-da, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 3. You know what I mean? You can scat time if you want. In a song.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually kind of a quicker way to do it rather than mapping it out. You're literally just scatting along to it and then figuring out, translate that to your hands.
Well, yeah, because the primary thing is keeping the time and the beat and just apart from it just being musical, that's for you what you want to do. You want to stay and you want to keep the time and the beat because you want everything you do to be a machine that isn't stumbling on anything.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
And, but yeah, like, all right, so let's say for like fills, what I was going to say was, I'm sorry, I got on the subject of the Rick James. Just real fast to clarify that. It's almost like, that That's, again, do that like a Bonham turnaround, which is like how Misty Mountain Hop actually is. But if
Yeah.
you slide that extra beat in a different place, it sounds like it goes like this. Oh, so here's time. Anyway, I just wanted to clean that thought up after the 20 minutes ago I first mentioned it.
Gotcha. Put a bow on it.
How have you? Wasn't there a time too we wanted to? Did you want to get your hi-hat foot going playing time too?
I've been trying to work on that. I was doing that, I think, when I was playing. You Got Lucky. Well, what I realized is I notice a lot of people who are very experienced and everything. Whether they're actually closing or opening anything, their heel is going up or something's happening with their left foot, as if they're counting, with their whole body and it's all incorporated. That's kind of what I mean.
Well, this is
I
what
did
I'm
that
going
a
to show
little
you.
bit last night.
This is very important, and this will help round out what we were talking about and shore up spots and fills and blank spots. There's a thing called rocking the hi-hat. And I'm talking about like the old school rocking the hi-hat, not necessarily the, where you keep the middle of your foot on the pivot and you're kind of going heel top. I'm talking about literally where you kind of go 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't even necessarily, you know what I mean?
So and would the hi-hat remain closed during that time?
Well, what you're going to do is I'm sorry, what did you say?
Does the hi-hat stay closed even though you're rocking it, or are you...
Well, what you're going to do is, in this case, no. So what you're going to, check this out. So I'm going to go. I'm going to bring the camera over here in a second.
I can actually see it.
Here, let me bring the camera. This is a very good exercise.
I can actually see it, but you can adjust it if you want to.
Wait, hang on. Let me lower it. You know what I mean? So, but it's a very it's very specific.
Okay. Yeah, when your heel goes down, the hi-hat goes up, and then on the next beat, toes go down, and that's when you're closing.
All right, can you see?
Yes. Yeah,
can you see the hi-hat
definitely see that really clearly. Yeah.
Oh, you can. Okay. So now, in my case, I am doing what I said, where I'm bringing up the tip of the toe in the end, but there's a period of time where my whole foot is laying flat. I'm not going, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Not that that's neither here nor there, but
basically heel down.
So just the way to start. Can you see?
Yes.
All right, so check this out. What you're gonna do is just, so 1, tap your heel down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? And then eventually. So this is no bass drum. Go a little faster. So this is a great thing for you to practice. Play this beat. Your left foot, believe it or not, will adapt to that very quickly. This is also probably a great exercise for plantar fasciitis, which I have in this very left foot, because I've been walking so much and I feel like there's a railroad spike jammed into my heel. Ooh. But even now, I can actually, this reminds me, because I thought about this. I haven't played that much. I was out of town for a while. But this, I can totally feel like this is really helpful for my plantar. Even though I'm smacking the heel a little, I can feel almost like my foot being like, ah. But see how I'm doing that?
Yeah.
So, 2, 3. But you'll get used to just the feel of it. Like, yeah, you're using that board. Here, give it a whirl, ora mismo. Now take your time.
Try the beat, maybe.
Don't use your right hand right now or your right foot.
Okay.
Right now, just use your left foot on the hi-hat. 1 is the base of your hi-hat. 2 is the tippity top of the pot. Just try that right now. Just rock it. Go heel, toe, He. There you go. As a beat. Now count out loud, so real loud so I hear you.
2 and 3 and 4.
Perfect.
And 1 and 2.
Yeah.
3 and 4 and 1.
Just like that.
3, 4. 1,
Now try it just for now, a teensy bit faster.
wait, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1.
Okay, look at your foot. How does it? Does your foot feel comfortable? Or does it feel like it's working real hard?
It's got to get. It's just a new landscape for it, as far as like
Right.
when I'm going down on my toes, I'm actually like kind of springing up my heel a lot, and that may not be exactly what you're saying.
Well,
but
I would recommend the short run. Maybe just try to keep. Like, because what'll happen is especially a little faster you go, that won't be. I was just showing you that won't be as exaggerated. When you're going faster, it's literally kind of just going to be like
a half inch off the ground.
Yeah,
or an
yeah,
inch off the ground.
Yeah, and this is like I remember when that's actually, if you want to do that, just so nothing else, no left hand, no right foot. Right hand on the ride like a jazz beat, and then rock your foot. Sometimes it gives it a little extra mojo. Now you can also too, if you smack your heel down, you can also get this effect.
Yeah, I heard it a second ago.
You know what I mean? My foot is so in pain. I must tell you that but you know what I mean? You get like a hi hat, not a bark is when you smack it. There's another one where you sort of smack your heel down. You'll sort of hear like pa.
I heard it when you first did it, like before you were trying to explain it.
You know what I mean? Pa. You know. But that's usually if your foot's pretty exaggerated. If you're doing it just regular, it'll just be like. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Give it another whirl again. Just your left foot, just for a sec.
One and
Now, just remember, what you want to do is just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the ands out.
Okay.
So just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Yeah, I could use some work on this.
No, yeah, but just don't bust your balls about. But what you want, so in a mental sense, sometimes too, is almost like in a certain way, the brain, at least mine, will favor sort of the triplet feel. So instead of like one E and 2 E, get the ands the hell out, and the 6, just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. But what lends itself cool to that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Da 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 ba da ba da ba da. Rockety rock, rock rock. You know what? It's a good thing to practice. You know what I mean? Eventually, like, just do it with your foot for a while. Then maybe you can. I would say forget about again the left. Just do left foot and right hand. That's a good one for you. That'll really help out the bottom. Especially in fills and shite where there's dead space, because your left foot will just start going and you'll start to more internalize the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense with that jazz beat. Cha-ching, check.
Yeah, yes.
It helps you count it, the whole thing.
Yeah, it does. 1, 2, because you're going to go, instead of 1 and 2, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's a great. So remember, right hand, even if you're not even playing the right hand, on the ride. If you're just doing your foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good shite bait. Phil Stanger taught me that. He's a teacher I had back in 32 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like a good exercise, and I will employ it.
But be patient with yourself with it, okay? Especially nowadays with, like, you know, YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff, where you see like a 8-month-old baby, you know, playing better than Elastapio. You know what I mean? Everybody just needs to work on their own gig. You know, just sit and remember. In that sense, you know what I mean? Don't freak out. You know, you'll get it, dude. And once that starts come, eventually you'll be like, you know, you'll mix the bass drum up like. My foot's still rocking like it all. That stuff will come. But just get in the short run, like you said. It's a new paradigm for you. It's totally new. Your foot will get used to it. Watch your posture. Make sure your foot isn't too far away from you. You know.
Yeah. Okay. I'll add that to the list of a couple things to practice.
Well, yeah, I see. And again, prioritize you're getting out there and playing the music. You know what I mean? Just playing out there, feel it, because the music is so great for you, not just physically, mentally, spiritually, the whole package. But then, after that, I'd say do the hands. And then if you have time, do the foot. But you can even practice the foot when you're sitting at your desk or whatever. Like right now, I'm doing it right on the floor. My left foot's rocking exactly as it does on the pedal. Wah da 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 da, sha ba da 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 da, ha, toes down, heel. You know what I mean? You'll just get used to it. And people also do it with both feet. Like there's a way eventually, some of the bass drum pedals techniques. You have like drop catch with the pedal too. Some people primary note with their heel and then they tap it with this, or then the secondary note's their heel. Whatever physical mechanism gets you the maximum for the minimum as far as effort and fucking up the, clogging up, making your technique viscous. You want to get the viscosity out. You want it just to be, you're just maximizing the physics of it and your hand staying out of the way, but just enough to make sure it doesn't fly out of your hand. But people used to do that with the feet. Like there was this dude I knew who could sit down and he kind of rocked both feet, but in such a way he'd get in a pattern. The bass and the double bass would be like, because he'd go, you'd get the boom, boom, like you can get it. Anyway, it was pretty neat. So you kind of rocked both feet, but it went dugga 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 versus do.
Oh, it's doubling them up somehow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, you'll see if you ever sit down at a double bass set that is I guess a double pedal, but a double bass set, you kind of start rocking both feet. You can kind of see, boom, boom, boom. You'll see how that could, eventually you do like dugga 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 dugga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. So now when you were talking about Tom Petty, yes. See, some of the songs. This is what I mean. You got some of the songs that you'll present. Oftentimes aren't really a drummer playing.
See, that would be helpful to know when I'm actually listening to it, but I guess I should just Google search, like do the Wikipedia thing, look at the personnel or something like that to figure that out. But
and when I mean that, I don't necessarily mean mutually exclusive. Like there are sometimes the drummer is playing, or the drummer might play after the fact over the drum. Usually the drum machines and everything are down first. That was around the time. Around that time, Tom Petty, Mike Campbell, is the guitar player in Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, got into drum machines and stuff. So he recorded a lot of those, don't come around here no more. You know what I mean? He programmed, I think, all that stuff. He also programmed and wrote the musical portion, by and large, of frickin' Boys of Summer. Don Henley, that. So, as far as it goes with, what was this? Not Don't Come Around Here. What's the other one? You Got Lucky, Baby. That one.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean. I mean, those guys. To be fair to Tom Petty and those guys, I think what they used to do is generally when they record, they would literally record live. Like they'd all five of them or whatever would get in a room and they'd run through it like 40 times. So they got a nice take and then they'd overdub on that,
Well, maybe they overdub more towards the end of the song because most of it is just the same beat over and over without the
exactly
on the hi-hats.
Right. You know what I mean? Like kind of what happens is eventually when you kind of get used to recording, you realize that kind of once you get the basic track down, like the drums and the basic melody thing, you can overdub all kinds of shit on top. You might not even use it in the end. You know what I mean? Just bring a little teeny in. It's like having it in reserve. It's like a 3-minute thing of just sample tracks that you're going to fly in and fly out. You know what I mean? Like, all right, so like, a 1, 2. That might be a drummer. I mean, it could be. Okay. You know what I mean? And then you have like overdubbed over the top. Yeah, so it probably is Stan Lynch playing it once through with maybe drum machines too, and then just over the top. Because at the end you have the Well, one of those is the one in the original. The very last one of the is this one. The ones that precede that are overdubbed.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
sure.
you know what I mean? But it's cool as hell. I remember when that came out. That is such a fucking cool recording. The video's cool too. Post-apocalyptic Petty and crew.
So check
A little
that
bit
out.
of the Road Warriors mojo in that. You know?
Nice.
But yes, but like I said, what you can do with that beat is think 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. You know how they do that at some point? You know what I mean? Pow! Into the next part.
Interesting. That's just a good song for me for two reasons. It gives me practice on the bass, throwing in the "and" one. A lot of time I mess that up. And then it gives me the hi-hat practice of lifting my foot up and keeping everything in good time, not stumbling. So that's
Brother, I have to ask you about your HHX hi-hats you have there.
Oh, you
When did
noticed.
score
I was
them?
going to say that at some point.
I haven't missed it. What are they? Do tell.
These are Sabian 14-inch HHX complex medium hi-hats.
I bet they sound fantastic. They have that very fine giant beat lathing, don't they? That real fine lathing.
I'm not sure about that. This giant beat, I can see the fine lathing. No, this is more like a 602 or something, I would say.
Oh,
Where
okay.
it's just a little bit more spaced and maybe a little bit more
Oh, really?
raised. Yeah.
'Cause
I don't know,
usually-
I can take a picture with my cell phone. I don't think it's going to translate with my camera there.
No, that's totally cool. Yeah, because one of the things I remember about the AAX and the HHX were they used a real fine lathing. I don't know, your bell is your bell lathed, or does it look like it's
No, that's
unlathed?
like the raw part of it where it
Yeah.
looks like little polka dots.
Yeah,
the
right. No, that's
hammering.
good. I'll bet here, can you play them for a second? Just give me a little
Yeah.
mojolia.
Yeah, when I was up at Badge's Drum Shop, I was just checking stuff out, and I happened to play these, and I don't know, they just sounded good.
Were they new or were they used?
Well, these I got used. Yeah, I'm not.
Nice.
These are expensive, but
Hell yeah, they are.
I mean, there was a whole thing with trying to buy through Guitar Center because basically I bought from Guitar Center. They had this as the description, but they had the ride as the photo, so I thought I was going to get the ride.
Yeah.
And then before I got these, I was like, all right, I'll get another set of these. So I have two of these now, and I might return one to Guitar Center and get my money back.
Well,
If
they might give
choose.
you some you could probably get some dough out of them and say, listen, dudes, I thought this was going to be an effing ride.
Yeah.
You
I
can
don't
go
know.
through the process of returning, or you could just give me X amount of dollars. You know what I mean? Or credit. You know what I mean? Or
Credit.
whatever. You know?
Yeah. They're a little bit chunkier. I don't know how to demonstrate them perfectly, but
No.
top of the hi-hat.
Oh, yeah. What do they call medium complex?
Yeah, complex medium.
They're almost like sound creation. The original, they almost have a 602 sound creation.
Okay, you would
Mojo.
know better than me. I'm not familiar with anything sound creation at the moment. Or
Yeah,
sound
kind of a
formula.
heavier. You'd be surprised. Some of those cymbals are heavier than you.
Yeah,
No,
they
but
are.
that's totally cool. Do you like them? How do they compare to you versus the 505 mediums?
How do they compare? Now, my
I mean, as far as your
505
taste buds, apart not sonically, but do you dig these
Yeah.
better than the 505
Okay, so they're
mediums?
softer. They don't have that B8 quality to them, but not all B8 is bad. Like this 900 series, it's not. It doesn't have like I don't know what you would call it. Like
I know what you mean.
Like a tinny or a cutting.
Well, you know, the thing
Sharp.
that's a funny thing about those 900s is that a 900 straight ride, right? It just
Yeah.
says straight ride.
I love the bell. It's pretty good overall.
Yeah,
And it is a little bit louder.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I had the 24-inch giant beat out here too, and you could go back and forth, and they were almost same volume level.
Between the 900 and the GB.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
pretty
well, you
cool.
know, it's like here I have this 2002 20-inch medium that will give me a ping. That video that I posted on YouTube of me playing that show, that was actually a 22-inch
2002.
2002. It wasn't a 24.
Was that a black label or a reissue?
Yeah, black label.
Nice.
You know, it's you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, in Zeppelinville, you know, you can have the 24, but you remember that the beginning of do 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 on the studio. I'm pretty sure that's a 22-inch Zildjian.
Zildjian, actually.
Pretty sure.
Thinking, well, George has a video where he has a 24-inch old school 602, I think, and I think he's playing that song, and it sounds very similar to me.
Oh,
could be wrong.
No, totally. I just, the only thing I was saying, I think on the first record, I'm fairly certain Dudesicle had a set of Zildjians, which you can see. Look up the pictures of those guys playing. Type in Scandinavia 1968. It should come up, Zeppelin. You'll see John Bonham behind a Sparkle Slingerland kit, which people always assumed was a green, but I think Jason Bonham said it was blue Sparkle, but it's a Slingerland kit. He's got a 5x14 Supra and what looks to be 14-inch Zildjian hats, 18-inch Zildjian Crash, 22-inch Zildjian Ride, and maybe an 18 or 20-inch Zildjian. They look like Zildjians to me, but I'm pretty sure that's probably the ride he used. I don't know. You never know when these dudes are in the studio. You know what I'm saying? But no, oh my gosh, a 602. I mean, I have my prized 20-inch 602 around here somewhere. The medium ride model. It's delicious. The reissue 602s are out of hand. Crazy quality.
Are they? That's
yeah. They're the most expensive cymbals, I think. They're at the tippity top of the price line, even above Dark Energy and stuff.
What comes to your mind as far as 602, like reissue versus 602 modern essentials?
Well, I think what happened with the modern essentials is when Vinnie Colaiuta came on, they wanted to, you know, do in a certain way. They almost did with the modern essentials what I had always assumed back in the day the sound creation was to the 602. But in fact, the sound creation, even though they were, you know, part of the mojo was they were lathed like giant beats, that real fine lathing or that 602 sound edge lathing. They were heavy cymbals. You know what I mean? So with the modern essentials, you get, I think, some of that, well, kind of sound creation-y type of thing to it, but the cymbals just aren't so heavy. Remember, that's B20. Okay. You know what I mean? And I think what they did is the techniques what they did to the 602s to make the modern essentials. I think then they went to the B8 version of that, like the 2002. They made like a modern essentials B8 version, which is the 2002
Big Beat.
Yes, the Big Beat.
Okay, that makes sense. That lines up.
So I think essentially modern essentials is the B20 version of the Big Beat, or vice versa, in its production
hammering and stuff.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely very interested. I'm looking on the used market, just keep an eye out for stuff, but I don't know if I would go for, as far as a ride, like a Modern Essentials or a 602 at some point, because I've got enough stuff for now.
Well, yeah, I will say, the one time I went out to the NAMM thing, the National Association of Musical Mishnockins, they did have, you know, Peisty had the booth there, and I went around, I was looking at stuff, and there was a 15-inch pair, probably the same with the 14, but a 15-inch pair of Modern Essentials hi-hats.
Swear by those.
Oh my God, they were golden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd love to toss a sound edge under that every so often just to see how that sounded. But yeah, those 15-inch, they're expensive as hell, but those are golden cymbals. At some time before I bite all the dusts, I'd like to get my hands on a pair of 15-inch Modern Essentials 602s.
Yeah, there seems to be like the biggest consensus. If you're searching on forums and stuff, people say, or you'll get the most answers of that 15-inch Modern Essential hi-hat and maybe a 22-inch Modern Essential ride.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
like
they're
Chad
just
Smith
fantastic,
those,
man.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time? I hate to ask you this, just because my.
What did we start at? Like 12:10, and it's 1:40. So we're hour and a half in.
Hour and a half in. Is it okay if we do about 10 minutes?
That's fine. That's fine.
Is that cool?
Yeah. Do you want to hear this other song?
Hell yeah.
Here, let's just play it real quick.
Now, what do we got? Tell me what it is.
This is the Raconteurs.
Are they the type of band that goes, hey, oh, like that kind of thing?
No, I don't think so. Now,
Okay,
this is,
good.
I would say, more
Not
like
that-
indie.
I mean-
2000s, more of, I don't know what bands you could compare them to.
Oh, wait, is the Raconteurs, is that Jack White?
Yeah, it could be something like that. That would
Oh,
make sense.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the Lumineers or something. I'm a skull.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know
Raconteurs,
who it
dude. I
is,
think
but
that's Jack White.
that would make sense to me.
He's a monster and a half.
So this is just fun. It's a little jammy. It's pretty slow, but you'll notice the hi-hat bark is kind of the predominant thing.
Okay.
Doo 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 doo.
Well, that's cool as hell.
My baby's on the level. I try to read her mind. She's on the straight and narrow. I'm guessing all the time. I can see the road from looking at the signs.
Oh, this is Mojo Land.
And stepping out of line.
All right, here, stop. Yes, brother, great tune. Wow, I forgot how much of a monster Jack. He's riff king. All right, what that is that's a tune which is a good example of like an emphasis in 16thville on the E.
Okay.
And it's in that song it's usually on the E of 4. 1 E
Okay.
and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 1 E and a 2. Like in Zeppelin, they'll be like dun dun. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a, except that's on the E of 2. But yeah, but a couple times he actually does the E of 2 too. He's like, the Jack White does. The 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and the 2. Yes. So what you want to do is think of those E's. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. By and large, in that song, it's the E.
Yeah. No, I can halfway play it. I mean, the fill's off to get down. If I'm not even worried about that, but I just thought it was a cool tune. If you were,
Oh my God, brother, that is. It's nice and concise.
should try to give it a play sometime if you feel like it.
No, you know what? I should bang that out. Well, here's the thing. I want to make a lot of drum covers. And of course, there'll be some Zeppelin in there, but I want to do just all kinds of drum covers and just bombard the channel with them. You know what I mean?
Sure. And maybe just record some stuff. Like just do, seat of your pants cover, and then you don't have to put it out or anything, or you can decide which songs you do want to put out. But
Well, yeah, but it's fun though too, because sometimes there are some covers. Because a lot of people, the whole nature of the common cover is they really want to learn the recording exactly as and play it that way.
Yeah.
That shows like, hey, I can do this. I learned this. It's a thing. And there are some songs you just can't have to play it in the mojo. But it is cool. It would be interesting if there was like a Bonzo person or somebody, like Keith Moon plays Blondie.
oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Keith Moon plays Talking Heads. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And then just
Putting
go
their own
out there and
style
just
on it.
yeah, but not a hack job, but a nice caricature, just that kind of stuff. Nice entertainment and It's its unique spin, you know.
Yeah, when you were playing, watching the wheels, you did that for just a second. I was kind of Zeppelinified it, but it sounded cool.
Oh yeah,
It
like
wasn't too crazy.
oh yeah, you could totally be like, well yeah, imagine all the people in the I think he throws one of those in.
Yeah.
I don't know, but essentially it's just like. But it shows the restraint though. There's a nice restraint in that song,
Yeah.
where it's like you know what I mean? It's not chippy choppy played ahead or on top. It's a nice laid back.
You could always throw in like instead of you can go.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what is fun? Yeah, Well, that's the whole thing. Like in you know, like in I know I yap about this, dude. Thanks for being patient with my yapping. In Kashmir, like that.
Or,
But you know, if you know, I gotta clear this up because I threw it out there and I have to clear it up real fast. In Kashmir, what I think Bonham actually does is when those spaces open up, he does throw an extra bass drum. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's not where that if it's the bass drum hitting in there, I think he goes bum bum literally.
right.
With this
Not
book.
not echo rec.
Yeah, I'm
Actual
pretty sure
reality.
that is a opinion that I have. I don't know if it's shared by all.
No, I think it's true.
You know what I mean? But listen, so let me boogie. I hate to do. I'm sorry. It's just the past
No,
few
you're
weeks.
good.
Normally, I do like to do the 2 hours. But listen, continue to do what you're doing, okay? But also to remember with that rocking your foot.
Yeah.
For the purity of it too, if you want, just to get the nature of the foot action down, you can actually rock your foot in the short run now when you listen to stuff and make the you can make the foot down 1, 2, 3, 4 if that's easier. It would be helpful, you know. So like, you know, I mean, I guess what I mean is there. Like, what song were we playing before? And I found my foot rocking. Like usually you want to get used to obviously that foot, the toe hitting down on the 2 because you want it to close at the same
Or
time as
line
you're
up
hitting
with a
the band.
snare. Yeah.
But if you ever find yourself just practicing to a song or something, if it's easier for you to make the foot down, just do that in the short run just to get your foot used to the movement.
Okay.
Whatever it takes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I'll definitely keep it all in mind. Practice
All
some
right,
of these
brother.
different rudiments and stuff.
Listen, I'll be in touch till next week. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I mean, next week. I'll be in touch next week. I hope everything's cool with you. How's your summer going?
Everything's I think pretty good. Playing drums mostly.
Dude,
Hopefully the same with
I'm telling you, it's I do appreciate the tunes you throw back. What was that other stuff you threw back? Remember the Modest Mouse? Because I only knew Modest Mouse through that. All right, it's right, it's and you threw some there. Man, that's some of that
Ocean
Modest
Breathes
Mouse.
Salty. Was
Oh
one of them.
yeah, what is it? What's salty?
Ocean Breathes Salty.
Oh my God, dude, that is just golden.
Yeah, there's probably a couple other, but you can go to Modest Mouse artist page and just look at like the top songs and listen to a couple of them.
Modest Mouse. I don't even remember. There used to be a cartoon back in the day. Something Mouse. I forgot.
No.
Well, there was
Speedy
Mighty
Gonzales.
Mouse, but there was a character that used to go like, I don't know. Listen, I will see you in 1 week.
Sounds good, man.
All right, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, and remember, show up. Make sure even if you don't feel like doing it, just get in there and do it. I'll do the same thing.
I gotcha. If you have any links to send me, not of the video, but you were talking about videos or something like that. Send
Yes.
those. I'm gonna send you one. It's just a skate video, but it has the watching the wheels.
Oh yeah,
early,
no,
like,
by all
2000s.
means. And that reminds me, I wanted to ask you something. There used to be a movie years ago. It was called Skater Dater. Did you ever hear about it?
No. No.
Dude, I think it's from like 1973.
Wow.
You know, and he's
okay.
like, Remember the years where the skateboards were like this big and they had metal wheels, like
Yeah, I
roller
was gonna say
skate wheels?
before urethane.
Dude, look it up on YouTube. Skater Dater. We used to
Skater
sit
Dater.
in the backyard of my neighbor's house in Oak Park and be like on a towel attached to the garage, watching it with a projector. Skater Dater. I'll never forget it. I gotta find that myself. I'll see you in a week.
It sounds good, man. Take care of
Say hey to
yourself.
the fam. I'll see you, bro.
Okay. See you, buddy.
Oh wait. Did you not record this?
I'm not sure if I did. Hold on a second.
I will send it to you if you did not.
I'll let you know right after this.
Let me know. Otherwise, I'll send it to you because I don't remember.
Perfect. Sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. I'll see you.
Peace.